Good morning, Kabroda crew. Welcome in. Thanks for joining the live stream. We're back after a little bit of a vacation here on the channel. We're getting ready to check some stuff out and see where we're at for today with the market. Like I said, it's been a week or two. We've been on vacation. Actually, went to a wedding in Oregon, so yeah, it's been a little bit of time kind of chilling out, waiting for the charts, just kind of hanging out. Definitely kind of checked up on the charts, but not anything super serious, looking around. So we'll have to jump back into it today, see where we're going, see where we're at. I am a bit tired today, so sorry for any yawning or things like that. Could be a little bit off, just because we got back pretty late on Tuesday night / yesterday morning, and then just had to get some shopping done and get some stuff like that yesterday, so didn't get a ton of sleep. So last time was kind of the first night of okay sleep. So we'll have to definitely be catching up over the weekend. But yeah, going to jump on it and get this live stream going, and see where we're at today. So yeah, the trip was pretty good. Weather was great for Oregon, so we had a lot of fun kind of going around, seeing people that we knew, and then getting ready for the wedding as well. So a lot of going different places, and just kind of doing random stuff to help out, get the wedding ready to go, and get everything set up. Wasn't anything too crazy, really. Did make a nice little trade though a couple days ago with the Kabroda system. Actually called out a long, I believe it was. I think that was a Monday, I think. So yeah, pretty good little trade there, actually. Today we'll check it out, but there is actually another trade firing today, so we'll see how this one does. See if it even hits. There was one, trying to remember when it was. I think it was Friday, maybe, that ran or that fired on Kabroda system, but it didn't actually end up following through. It just called it, and then the chart never came up and actually got you in, so it just kind of bled out throughout the day, and the system was trying to go for a long, I believe is what it was. So yeah, we'll check out the charts, see what's going on, see what's happened over the last little bit here. So let's see, we left on the 4th, I think. So really not a whole lot has happened. Looking at the longer term here, kind of left on the 4th, like I said. So we've had a lot of sideways chop, a little bit up, a little bit of down, but not a whole lot you could really trade. I believe there's only a few in there. Just a lot of confliction throughout here, so it makes it hard to trade. Once we got up here, this is where I believe I was talking about with the long there. So we had that long on Friday, but the trade never actually hit. So kind of had a little bit of just down run here. Ran down sideways, nothing happened, never got you in. So we ended up not being able to get into that, and then we kind of dumped out here into I guess this was Monday morning. And then dumped from Sunday into Monday, and then we fired off here. So if you took the trade, or if you're watching the charts, we had a nice little run here. System called long. We took a long up and it made a little bit of money. Looks like Spirit Maker's here. Good morning. Thanks for joining. Yeah, been a little bit since we looked at the charts. Yeah, let's get everything set up, see what's going on, and see what's happening with the Kabroda system. So we'll head on over to Kabroda.com here, and we'll make this full screen for you. Alright, so today we got BTC. We're sitting around 64,188. We're a little above that now, around 64,300 and almost 400. We are bearish. 3 out of 5 of the signals are telling us we're bearish. We are building, and we have the multi-agent system approved for a long. Breakout is 65,074.36, and the breakdown is 63,861. So those are our chart levels. Right now, we do have no 4-hour trade, no 1-hour trade, but the 50-minute is calling it. So we have the approved multi-agent system. It's undefined as of right now. We have an entry around 65,074, stop 63,806, and T1 at 66,287. That's the 50-minute trade that the system is looking at. So right now we actually haven't gotten into this yet, just because it hasn't hit our entry yet, but it's something we're watching. So we'll have to go ahead and throw those on the chart and see where that trade is at. So here's our levels here. Get them on the charts. It's not Monday. Oops. It is Thursday. All right. And for that trade, we'll go ahead and throw that on here as well. Go to here and throw our trade on. So here is the trade for today. So we got a long here. Just about a 1-to-1. A little bit under, but that is the trade. So that's what you're looking at for today. You could be really aggressive, I guess, and get in somewhere like right now, but you know, that's pretty aggressive. You'd be taking more risk. Yeah, I mean, if you're trading our system, you're not going to get in until here. But, you know, whatever your system is, you could be getting in earlier, could be getting in later. It just kind of depends on that. But yeah, not looking too bad at a 1-to-1 almost. In terms of the lines, we are looking more like we're going to go to the downside with the 30-minute range here on the bottom below. Well, not below, but right next to the breakdown range. We do have a tiny little gap here on the breakdown and the daily support here. So not a lot of gap. Typically that means not a big run here for the downside. Same thing for the upside, not a big gap between the breakout and the daily resistance. So not a ton of, you know, upside potential either here, according to just what the lines are looking like. Overall, you know, the lines are good for a move. We do have pretty decent gap here in between the two line sets. Around 1.83, probably 1.85, something like that. So pretty decent gap above a 1, so that's always a good sign. Shows us that we could go either way, just shows potential for a move there. In terms of how's the chart looking on the 15-minute here, we do have a pretty decent little move kind of lining up here. We're looking like we're in some sort of a flag to the well, it's a bullish flag, but it's going to the downside here on some sort of pendulum style flag. So we could be looking for some more possible upside there. So looking pretty decent for a little bit of a bounce. That's what the system's calling. Not going to be anything crazy or huge. It's just looking for a little bit of upside there. All right. So let's get this. Expect we had a trade as well yesterday. Let's go ahead and get the what do we call this thing? The newsletter thing up here, and read it off. See what's going on the markets. So we've done a little bit of work to it. You can see it looks a little bit nicer. We got a little bit more, design on here. It's got nicer titles. You got some nicer spacing, a little bit easier to read maybe. So we'll see what you guys think of it. Just let us know in the comments what you think about. We're going to go ahead and look through it here real quick and kind of see where everything is at, see what's happening. So today BTC long structure confirmed at 65,074, single target participation only. So this session structure is confirmed long, the breakout trigger at 65,074, which coincides with the 24-hour volume weighted price centroid. That's the structural inflection point for today's session. Claim accepted above this level advances the bear wave 4 corrective rally towards 66,287 as the immediate structural destination, with no extension beyond that level warranted. So the structural picture for today: price is navigating a bear wave 4 corrective rally that originated at the bear wave 3 low of 60,055. At current levels, the bounce has covered approximately 90% of the structural distance towards the 80,632 corrective ceiling, a rally that is intact but grinding. The daily and weekly bearish structures overhead remain as primary friction. Confirmed weekly close below that 60,055 is the only event that reassigns the structural map towards wave 5, with a measured projection in the 42,000 to 45,000 range. So the market sentiment for today: the fear grade index registers at 25 out of 100, so a little bit higher than we have seen. I believe last time we did a live, it was actually around 17. So it's climbing up a little bit, getting maybe a little bit out of that extreme fear here pretty soon. A reading historically associated with institutional accommodation, accumulation activity rather than sustained directional selling. Extreme fear in a corrective bounce structure creates an asymmetric backdrop. Retail participants are positioned defensively while the structure map remains pointed higher. Sentiment reading does not contradict the long structure, but it does reinforce the disciplined single target posture. The broader environment is not one that rewards extended participation. The 4-hour and hourly timeframes are both holding bullish trend structure, but both carry negative momentum. The textbook condition of a constructive retracement with the primary trend, not a structural breakdown. The hourly RSI is compressed to 36.08, placing momentum in oversold territory, and a hidden bullish divergence is flagged on the bottom time frame. The classic fingerprint of bounce resumption inside a larger uptrend. 15-minute execution window is loaded and ready. Ribbon window and deviation metrics confirmed forward field capacity with no cross time frame exhaustion signal active. The daily time frame sits bearish with a momentum weakening divergence warning that headwind is real. It's the primary structural ceiling on the opposite upside confidence and is the reason the session carries a single target mandate. So we are looking for a little bit of a long here today. All that to say. So the setup for today. The setup is confirmed to be a long. The structural bias for this confirmation rests on three converging conditions: oversold hourly momentum with a hidden bullish divergence inside a pullback structure, a low 15-minute execution window with no exhaustion signal, and the breakout trigger at 65,074.36, carrying dual structural weight as both the technical boundary and the 24-hour volume weighted price centroid. The daily bearish headwind and 5 construction sessions of persistent divergence warnings are acknowledged. They define the participation posture, not the direction. An SSC structural lean towards the short side at 69% confidence is a genuine cross signal and is weighted accordingly. It limits position sizing, not direction. So we got the upper boundary at 65,074. Lower structural boundary 63,861. Entry 65,074. Risk level 63,806. First target 66,800. No, not 800. 66,287. Second target 67,037, and the final target 68,250. So given the exhaustive momentum environment at the daily time frame combined with a 4 loss drawdown context and the daily bearish divergence warning overhead, the structural playbook calls for a full position exit at first target. No extension trades do not hold beyond 66,287. On the bias, the structural airspace to the second or final target appears unobstructed. The energy ceiling is real regardless of what the gravity map shows. So we are looking for a trade up, but we want to make sure we're getting out at that first target. We're not going to try to trade any farther because the first target does have a decent amount of weight, and we don't need to be trading past that because there's not a whole lot above it that we could be looking for. Essentially, we're just kind of looking to trade it up a little bit. Yeah, not take it too far. Let's see, what do we got for risk advisory? So we do have a confirmed 15-minute candle close below 63,806. After the breakout trigger fires negates the long structure. The stop is structural and non-negotiable. So we close below that 63,806. That would be below our stop, so obviously that's gonna break the trade. Breakout trigger, or breakout above is 65,074. That immediately reverses and closes back below that level within the same 15 minutes. Candle constitutes a failed breakout signal. In a risk-off macro environment, a failed breakout is structural crap, not a retest opportunity. So if we do get the breakout, then it comes back down and closes below the level. That means you want to just kind of maybe, well, I would say get out, but you know, you could play it. You just want to be mindful of the fact that it could continue down. So yeah, essentially you lose your edge there when it comes back below like that. So you would need to see in the next candle or two that it would need to cross again. So if you had taken it on the first one, maybe you could wait a candle or two and then take off the trade, unless you are just playing more conservative, and then you're probably better to just kind of pull it right when you see the candle not close above. Or you could just play really conservative and just wait for the candle to get a close above the breakout trigger before taking the trade anyways. We have evaluated the VIX at 16.45, bearish S&P posture, and a trending US dollar constitute a risk-off macro backdrop. These conditions historically suppress BTC upside momentum and reinforce the single target discipline. Do not add size or attempt to hold beyond the first target. The current account drawdown of 4 losses against 1 win demands capital preservation priority at every decision point. All right. So that's kind of the trade for today. That's what we're looking at. Looking at a little bit of an up trade here. Not running too far, just to the first target. So you can see on here, that's what we have. We do have targets 1, 2, and 3. We are only running to the first target of 62,000 or 66,287. So not too high up there, just a little bit of a run, a little bit of a rally, kind of a smaller 15-minute trade here to the upside. Like I said, the upper end really doesn't have a lot of room to continue to run. You know, the 4-hour and the 1 hour are kind of conflicting here. They're looking for maybe some more downside, so it's really just a smaller 15-minute trade to the upside, and then we'll see what happens here with the longer trend. Still in a downtrend here on the longer time frames. On the 4-hour, you can see we still got the downtrend here with obviously, you know, longer time frames. We're still on a downtrend, kind of obvious. But here on the 4-hour, we could see that flip, I guess, here pretty soon if we do come up and clear this 67,108. You kind of saw that little high here, and then we bounced down to make a new low, and now we're kind of coming back up. So if we do run up today, we could run up, you know, a little bit and still have, as long as we don't hit a new high, we'll still be in that downtrend. If we do come up and break above that 67,019, that could indicate that maybe the 4-hour is slipping to be a little bit more bullish here. Same thing with the 1-hour. Yeah, overall same kind of levels. I guess you could say that's too macro. Maybe look a little bit more smaller, you know, zoom in a little bit more, I guess. And look for a little bit of the smaller trends. Say maybe, okay, maybe we flipped, maybe we're in more of a bullish trend here a little bit on the 1-hour. Yeah, overall kind of not that great of a trend here on the 1-hour if you zoom in. So really we're just kind of looking at this more macro trend here with again, to go into the downside. Looking out at the longer time frames, let's kind of see what the daily stuff's doing since we kind of last looked at it. Again, you can see the downtrend here kind of came up, made a little bit of a high, dropped down lower, and then now we're kind of back up near our high, but we still haven't passed it yet, so we're still technically making a lower high here. Looking for more downside here to the, yeah, more downside. Still got the Elliott wave intact, looking for some bearish downside. Zooming out to the weekly, got same kind of look, same idea. Yeah, nothing too new. One thing to note on the weekly is we are looking a little exhausted here on the jewel indicator, starting to see some momentum kind of coming here for the bulls side. Maybe we're seeing kind of the end of the, oh, this is a 5-day. Well, still same thing here on the weekly. We are bouncing on our 200 on the weekly, so pretty nice. We need to see a clear and close below that to really confirm more of a drop. We did get that back here, but then the next candle we immediately broke back up and closed above. So maybe we're reclaiming. We'll see. I don't know. Our target, like I said, is still around that 42 to 45,000, 50,000 level. You know, 42 to 45,000 is really the actual level the target's at, but we keep saying, you know, 50,000 just because it's a little bit higher, a little bit of a big fat round number. You know, typically you'll see chart turn before it actually gets to the goal that we normally set. So, you know, we could run up a little bit, and that's why we're saying that. But overall, yeah, that's the trade for today. So we're looking for a little bit of upside momentum here. You know, kind of counter trend for the longer time frames as of right now, but not a terrible trade, just because, you know, the longer time frames aren't staying explicitly down. They're kind of, you know, wishy-washy right now, and the way that they're set up, they could be kind of trying to run up a little bit. So overall, we're looking for a little bit of a run to the upside. Then we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's kind of it for today. That's all we got. We will be getting back on here on Tuesday. Hopefully a little more well rested, ready to go. Kind of jumping back into the charts and seeing what's going on. And we'll take a look at this trade and see what happened, see what went on, and then we'll kind of jump into what's happening on Tuesday. But yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching the live stream again. Yeah, we'd love to see y'all here. If y'all wouldn't mind leaving the thumbs up, it really helps us out, helps us get out to more people. And if you're interested in our stuff, go ahead and hit that subscribe too. Just helps us, yeah, helps us get more attention to the channel and help more people out on their road to financial freedom. Again, yeah, we'll see you all on Tuesday. Again, yeah, thanks for watching, and thanks for joining us. Happy trading to y'all. Catch you then.